We are here, we are here, we are here. Hello, soul family. How are you? I'm vibing. Okay, so in this video, I'm gonna take you through how to make your dreams a reality in the Akashic Records. This video is a reading. I am in the Akashic Records of the collective of light workers in humanity that are ready to work within their own Akashic Records, that are ready to work within their own soul contracts in that way, because the Akashic Records are a soul contract, and they do send us little calling cards, like videos like this that are invitations for you to know that this is likely a path for you. Whether or not you work with me, whether you just passively listen, whether you take my free training, like you are meant to have some level of initiation and awakening into your own soul blueprint, your higher destiny path, and your own Akashic Records in this lifetime if you are landing on this video and if this feels like it resonates. It's their calling card. Okay, so we will jump into that reading, and then after the reading, I'm going to take you guys through an explanation in my very casual way about my program, Akashic Records Immersion, that I have a 70% off promo code this week. I haven't set an end date yet, but I'll probably do it over the next couple of days, but I will keep you guys posted regardless, so check my posts around that. For those of you that already know what that is, I dropped a link in the description below. It's imemelina.com/akashic-records. It's an entire 6-module program. I'll go into it towards the end of this reading and video, but if you are excited and want to check it out, if you use the code ANCESTORS, which I identified in the description below as well, at checkout, you will get 70% off. I never offer a promo like that steep of a discount, but the Akashic Records asked me to be of service in this way this week, so I am here for it. As you know, I take a good direction from God's source. I don't question too much of it. So anyway, so that is there for you. I also have a very easy payment plan for those of you that need a little bit more time to make the payments. And that is what I've got there. What else do I want to tell you? Oh my gosh, I didn't even do my intro. Hi. Welcome to I'm Woke. My name is Emelina Calder. I am a cosmic shaman. I'm a psychic medium. I am an Akashic Records reader, practitioner, teacher, and guide. The far majority of the work I do for myself, with my clients, everything that I do is at its core based in the Akashic Records and the blueprint of the soul, because I find that it's a fantastic container to help train people to trust their own intuitive development in a really, really safe way, where they have their own guidance team that is ready to support them and lean on my transmission around that level of safety, which I'll probably explain a little bit later in the video. If you are new to the Akashic Records and want to get your feet wet and aren't totally ready to jump into a program yet, or maybe get your feet wet and then jump into my program, I have a free training. It's an 8-part video training that you can get access to. I've got a link in the description below. It's imemelina.com/training. I think you guys are gonna love that as well. If you're thinking about working in the Akashic Records, 1000% you can do some of this on your own. And I do recommend that you start getting your feet wet if you're interested, because you'll start to understand what the frequency is. But regardless, I'm happy to cater to you and help you cultivate that relationship anyway. I've got some things that the Lords, the Guardians of the Akashic Records, streamed through me that they want me to cover in this video for you guys. And as always, I am a channel. I am going to stream of conscience, just talk and tap in and see what else they want me to cover for you guys that is relevant. And we will go from there. Okay, so how to make your dreams a reality with the Akashic Records. And video adjustments. Also, hi sweetheart. Get your ankles wet. Yeah. Oh, you're in module 1. You're getting there. Oh, also, as you guys jump in, I might shoot some extra videos in the course. Do 1 module a week or 1 module every 2 weeks. You want to be able to adjust to the content in the program It is a medicine, not unlike a plant medicine, but you're totally sober. So you got to give it time to soak in, work with it, practice, get it in your bones, in your system, in your energy. All right, now let me jump in. So, how to make your dreams a reality with the Akashic Records. They already gave me bullets to talk about, but I'm just going to tap in, talk to them, cover the bullet, go back and forth. You guys know my system, most of you. If you are new, hit that subscribe button, wherever it is. I think it's on this side, actually. But anyway, like this video, drop a comment below with whatever resonates or whatever questions you may have. I'll leave my email below as well. If you have any questions about the Akashic Records and the program, send me an email. I'm very accessible. Okay. Spirit, bring whatever you need to communicate through to my attention. Okay, so the first thing that they're saying is part of being able to make your dreams a reality and completely changing your life without taking like a pill overnight, because God knows the collective thinks that that's a thing and it's not. The way you change your life is through daily micro actions over long periods of time that change who you are. They change your identity at a core level. That changes your approach, changes how you act, changes how you think, and thereby changes the results that you receive and the outcomes that you access within your world. So the first thing that they really wanted me to chat about with you guys is that you have to be able to, one, identify the dream. Now, that might seem silly from the human perspective. We're like, oh, I can do that. Like, I know what I want. Let me tell you. A, most people don't know what they want. It's why they don't have it. B, most of us, when we ask for what we want, ask for such a reasonable thing that we don't achieve it because it's so limited that it's almost like the soul can't generate, quite literally, enough energy out of the battery of the body to actually be motivated to go after it. If your goals are too reasonable, this is going to sound so weird to so many of you, but it's so legitimate. If your goals are too reasonable, you're not going to reach them. They're asking me to give you a very concrete human example, okay? Wait, how do I say this? This is like years ago, but I moved into whatever. They want me to go here, I'll go here in whatever way I can. There was a big leap I made around my housing like years and years ago where I was so inspired to get a 1-bedroom apartment in Beverly Hills that was way out of my budget range. And was much more than I had ever spent on an apartment in my life. And I was like, this is crazy. And I remember I tried to be reasonable, and I could get a 2-bedroom apartment or a 3-bedroom apartment less than this bougie ass 1-bedroom apartment. Okay. So I was trying to be reasonable, and I was reasoning with myself, and I was like, but I can Airbnb the other bedroom, but I can like do this, I could do that, whatever. Like, you know, and I was feeling it, and I was channeling the Akashic Records at the time because I've been doing this work for a very long time. And when I was talking to my guardians in the Akashic Records, doing my intuitive development, I was like, I want this apartment and I can't explain it. And it made me cry. I felt like I had access to everything I wanted. And I was like, but am I worthy of that? Can I afford those payments? Am I going to be able to do that? It was like almost twice what the other 2 bedrooms were. Okay. At least 1.5 times more, a lot more, substantial. I'm not like over dramatizing this, I promise. And I had a job at the time. I was actually working at Fox Broadcasting. I was in corporate brand partnerships and content marketing. And it, you know, where they're taking me with this is that when you settle, and I didn't settle, I frequently don't settle, for you guys to know. Like, I'm constantly raising the bar, setting the bar, going after it, taking big leaps. So that is the perspective I take, and they train me to do that. My spirit has trained me to take steps like that because it's very intuitive. and to know which leaps to take, which ones are safe, and how to get your energy behind it from your heart space, because the heart is generating the energy that you need for these leaps to be safe. Okay. When I was channeling the Akashic Records at that time, they told me, do you trust your heart? Do you trust the amplification of the energy? Because I literally would cry thinking about living in that apartment. Like in the best of, like I'd be like, oh my God, that's exactly what I want. How, like, but how is that I was like, this is gonna sound so silly, you guys, but I literally was like, there are 2 bathrooms. I had a partner at the time. That was a big deal. I was like, there's 2 fireplaces. I was like, it's so bougie. Like really cute patio. The whole thing allows pets, all the things. Anyway, so I was like crying about it out of happiness, but then I wanted to like deny it because my mind would be like, that's not a smart investment, Emelina. Like, we don't even know if we can afford that. And what's interesting about these decisions, like how I was channeling, is my guardians from the Akashic Records said, do you trust your heart? Do you trust your soul's ability to communicate the amount of energy you'll receive around this investment, around something you want that's so clearly obvious for you? And I was like, I trust. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I know what those cries and like tears of joy feel like. And I know how to leap. I've done it a lot through my life. So instead of taking the logical route, getting a 2-bedroom for like thousands, like whatever, so much less, and then renting it out and making money off of a second room, so that would have been another income stream. Instead of doing that, I chose the 1-bedroom. This is a very long story to tell you that bougie ass 1-bedroom, I was there for like 5 years. I was completely able to make my payments. And because I loved the space so much, because I trusted that leap within myself, because it was a soul-led, heart-based desire, I was able to make more money. And it was easier for me to make more money because that is the investment that I wanted. It is how I wanted to express myself, so the money came easier in order to supply the expression. It's almost like I made more money because I was completely backing my decision for something I loved and adored in my environment. And home, a safe, happy, like beautiful home, is not something that I had stability in. So having that, access to that, creating that for myself was like, I don't know, it was like crazy, like just in the best of ways, the most beautiful of ways. All right, you guys, where do you want to take me with that? They led me there for a reason. They asked me to tell that story. So give me 1 sec. Let me check in. Sometimes I'm like, what do you want? When you tap into your dreams and you leap towards your dreams and you take action towards your dreams, you often will be given more resources than you thought were available. And in fact, there's so much power behind your dreams, behind what it is that you intensely desire and deserve, that more resources, more money, more relationships, more connections, whatever you need, more abundance will be created because you decided to leap, because you decided to claim what you wanted. And again, these aren't reasonable dreams and goals. These aren't like, I don't know, one's not coming to mind, but if it's an easy thing, like, just do it. That's not a goal. Like, just go fucking take care of it. Like, that's the way the Akashic Records work through me. You want to reach bigger. The more unreasonable the dream, the better. Because if you're reaching for it, your soul can move in and fill in the gaps and actually give you some really substantial material to work with at the physical level, because you are open and willing enough to say, I'm willing to go so big that there's no way my ego can make that happen. When you go so big, you actually surrender. You actually step into a surrendered state because you have to. And that's where God actually gets to come in and do the work. Source, infinite intelligence, whatever term most resonates with you. Now, here's how the Akashic Records help, okay? So when we are identifying the dream, pretty much all of my clients, I don't know that I've had a single client actually give me a really robust, substantial dream. They're all very reasonable, way too reasonable, way too reasonable. So when you work with your Akashic Records, a lot of what the Akashic Records help you to do, whether or not you can talk to them the way that I do, we'll get into the psychic skills later in psychic development. You don't have to be psychic to work with the Akashic Records. I will teach you this. They actually condition your energy to be able to be more intuitive and psychic just by sitting in the space in meditation in your own Akashic Records, which for those of you that don't know yet, when you work with your Akashic Records, it is a meditation practice. It's a daily meditation practice. You access the Akashic Records through your crown and your 8th star soul chakra, which is the access point to the Akashic Records, which is above your head, like 12 to 18 inches. The Akashic Records exist everywhere. They are in the 4th dimension. They're accessed mentally. And they're your soul database. They're like the Google database for the soul. You can find out anything and everything about yourself. Everyone and everything has a record, a set of consciousness and understanding with a past, present, and future. The records that you will be accessing are your own records. Those are the only records that you have permission to access. You need conscious permission to access a set of records. We're not even going to go into reading other people's records and stuff. That's for the healers. We will do that in another program at some point. But you can access your own Akashic Records. That is where I'm really going to drill in for this practice and the point. Okay, where else did you guys want to go there? That was a little side tangent that was necessary. The belief patterns and the systems of belief to creating the dream. Okay, so when you guys start working with your Akashic Records, what they do naturally, whether or not you know it, whether or not you're psychic enough to actually hear them in your ear, is they're training your mind and your consciousness. They're increasing your neural pathways, and they're showing me right now, it's like what your soul does, what your higher self does, is it lights up areas in your life and brings your attention to them, like a puppy, like a dog, where you're kind of just led. The thought is led. Oh, you're led to that. Oh, that would be nice. Oh, that's really interesting. Oh, you'll start thinking more creatively. It's actually really creative thinking. And what they do is they help you to open up your ideas of what is actually fucking possible for you in this life. Unreasonable. Unreasonably, impossibly possible. Okay? Most of us think too small. And when I say most, again, every client that I've worked with has struggled in being able to understand what they're capable of in a way that is really expansive, really creatively expressive, and really reaching into the quantum to say, this is my life. I'm going to take the Play-Doh and like make something really fun. Most of us are just like, I just want just enough money and I want to make sure my family's okay. And like, I might not like a nice car. It's just like, I don't know. It's all like very simple stuff. And the Akashic Records help you to expand so that you can really enjoy who you are, why you're here, and find out what's possible for you. Now I'm going to check in with them again because they brought my attention somewhere and then moved it again. They help you to steer away from fear and steer towards the clarity of what you might desire. The way the soul works with your life purpose is that most of you don't have this is your exact life purpose. You have to do this one job and that's what, most of you don't have that. I've read enough people's Akashic Records. I have tons and tons of clients that I've worked with. And I think I've only seen like one person who's had a concrete life purpose like that. Our life purpose, for the most part, is discovering our life purpose. It's creating our life purpose. It's understanding who we are at a true, authentic soul level and how we want to express that soul, that creativity, that expansion in our 3D waking realities. And that is our purpose. So how you want to do that, how that feels good, is your life purpose, generally speaking. And all of that requires creativity, play, and expansion. I've also had many, many clients across the years that we're on one life purpose. And then in the Akashic Records, the work we would do together is they would say, explore this avenue, explore this avenue. They'd give like 3 or 4 different avenues and say, explore them and see what you think. And then my clients their life purpose would change and their soul would rearrange everything to meet the human with what the human discovered through their act of play, through their act of self-discovery. Like, we make things as humans very difficult, challenging, very black and white down here. We're like, we can get it right or we can get it wrong and then we die. That's not the way the Akashic Records think. That's not the way the 5D human thinks, the 5th dimension. It's, that's not the way the elementals think or our spirit guides. They're all thinking in terms of play. They're like, you've been given a body. Squeeze it, pinch it, it's fun. And then they're like, what do you want to do? Now, we're down here in a crying shit show of a mess. Like defecating and like they do have a sense of humor and it is coming through me. And we're like screaming and we're like, what? Like, how dare you? It's so hard here. I'm traumatized. And it's no discredit to that. That shit's real. But the way that our spirit guides think about it is that they're like, okay, sweet thing. They see us like little dogs that are like little rescue animals. And they're like, okay, you got to teach yourself how to like relieve yourself in the toilet instead of like on the floor. And like, don't throw feces at other humans. They're making this so primal right now. This is not Emelina. This is them. For you guys to know. They're showing me visions of children throwing fecal matter at each other. Okay. So they're like, okay, it's okay. Our spirit guides are like, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. That's not what that's for. Okay. Put the poop down. That's the drama, okay? That's the negative belief systems. That's the fear. That's the blame. That's the self-sacrifice. That's the victimization. That's the abuse. That's the trauma. That's the childhood trauma. They're like, put the shit down. I'm like, okay, wash your hands. This is what you're going to be doing in your Akashic Records metaphorically. You're washing your hands and you're saying, that's not how we play nice anymore. Nice. How you play in general. I know that you were taught that is what it is to be human. And that is what it is to be human for many humans, but not for the light workers. So wash your hands, come to the Akashic Records, come to your source consciousness. God's going to take care of you. Infinite intelligence is going to give you some level of stability and calm in one way or another. And you're going to learn how to navigate crisis and chaos with ease, grace, and balance, because that's what we do here. Because it's not really real. It's real, but it's an illusion. That's all I got. The mess takes care of itself when you stop giving it power. It will naturally take care of itself. It might take time. A lot of times it takes time, but it will take care of itself if you're not constantly feeding it fear. So the washing the hands metaphorically, you working with your Akashic Records, you doing your daily spiritual practice. The work that we do together when you work in any of my programs with the Akashic Records is your daily spiritual practice. It's your karmic cleansing. It's your visioning. It's gaining clarity. It's acclimating to your own personal soul frequency. That's what the Akashic Records are. We could call them your soul. Like you are sitting with your soul. You're becoming acclimated to your soul. Even if you just sit in the Akashic Records in meditation, you just be in that container and space when you enter them. Your guides are attuning you to your soul frequency. It's like there's the human body and then there's the soul. And oftentimes we can be separate in this life if we don't make an active connection. When you're in the Akashic Records, you're sitting with your soul frequency. Now, if you are saturated energetically with your soul, with that vibrational frequency, which it is a high vibrational frequency, none of you are bad. Like nobody's going to have like a bad frequency. Like you're sitting with your high vibrational frequency, your most authentic truth with your soul. That vibration starts to vibrate you and lift your vibration over time. You could see immediate shifts even just in one session sitting in the Akashic Records. The next day, things can line up. There could be a lot more synchronicities. You could be seeing angel numbers. You could make more money. Like, things can happen rather immediately. Over time, it raises your vibration so that your safe bottom or your standard of way of being and living is a much higher vibration than it was years ago for you. A higher vibration allows you to attract better experiences, better humans, a more fun reality. Reality is never going to be perfect either. We're always going to have drama. We're always going to have some level of trauma. We're always going to have challenges. We're always going to have some level of humans throwing shit at each other. Whatever that is. They're coming through very crass today. And I'm going to be very honest with you. I actually think a lot of why I am a little bit more crass is because of how the Akashic Records speak to me. They're different with everyone, and this might just be very much attuned to my own personal soul frequency, but they're so direct. They so want to reach you guys at the human level that they will say it in such a 5th grade comprehension human level, which I appreciate because it allows me to reach more people. But that's how this frequency is coming through for you guys. I have so much more to say on this that they gave me for bullets, but they're also like saying I can kind of spin off here. What I do love about the Akashic Records is that there really is no drama. There's no like story. There's no like, let me pump you up and make you feel good. Will you feel good? Yes. But these are like, you can think about them like chaperones, teachers, professors, ascended masters. Like, they're not here to like make you feel good. You're gonna feel good, so don't misinterpret this from me. They're here to help you ascend. They're here to help you get out of whatever bullshit limiting beliefs you have created for yourself, break free, and create a new reality. So when you think about mentors from that place, they're very direct. They're very no bullshit. They're not here to coddle you and be like, sweetheart, how are you? Oh, is it okay? They're like, what do you need? It sounds like you might need this. Have you looked at this? This has been getting in the way for you. Have you thought about this pattern? Oh, you haven't noticed what's hurting you yet. We're going to over dramatize it in your environment. So in case you miss the message in your records, you're going to see it externally. It's going to become very obvious so that you can make a change. Like they're literally just like trying to help you. And by trying, I mean, they're helping you as much as they possibly can, engaging and working with your consciousness. My point is they're not mothers up there. They're not sitting there like, oh, baby, it's okay. I can help you. Like you can get some of that, but that's not the purpose of the Akashic Records. I don't know why they're streaming this through me. I think it's more to show you that they'll help you reparent yourself, but they will not parent you, if that makes sense. They are like your mentors that guide you to get where you want to go in this lifetime. And because they understand the urgency behind that, they will be patient and loving and caring with you as they are teaching you how to walk. But they're not going to, can you guys give me a way of, they're not going to let you sit in a grade level too slow, too long. Does that make sense? It's like they're not going to keep you in remedial English or remedial math for extra years just because you're not putting in the effort. You know what they're going to do? This is what Spirit does. Spirit goes, oh, you're moving way too slow. No, you were supposed to graduate a year ago. Oh, you're just in fear. And then Spirit goes, here's a boot in your ass. That'll get you moving. Here's a crisis to go handle. That'll get you moving. Those are dark nights of the soul. Those are spiritual awakenings. Pretty much all of you have been through them to one degree or another. I've been through an insane amount of them. Some of us, like, it's really a hobby. Like, I'm just like, pitch another one at me, Spirit. I got it. Because I understand that it's there so that I can move through, because my consciousness otherwise won't move through it. It's harder to break through these huge subconscious limitations and barriers without something physical, practical, a challenge in front of you to be able to navigate. So when we see those challenges in front of us, we navigate them with grace and ease because they're there to show us the obstacles of our subconscious projected out into reality, not as a problem, but to show us literally the physicality behind it, that without it, we wouldn't be able to break through and become someone entirely new. So this was a very long step one, which was identify the dream. The Akashic Records will help you expand your mind, expand your curiosity, to give you the clarity that you need to actually see what's possible for yourself, to actually see how to expand, what to reach for, and what you can create in your life. A lot of the work they've sent through for me for clients has been lots of list building, writing, journaling, like what is possible for me? Like what could I explore? What can I have fun with? And a lot of that you're not going to know immediately working in your Akashic Records. It's an entire process of play. You're reparenting yourself with their guidance effectively. So you need to learn self-discovery. You need to learn discovery. You need to learn play. You need to learn exploration. You need to learn creativity. All of those things come with working with the Akashic Records. Okay. Number 2 is you need to claim your destiny and your right to your prosperity. That's what they gave me, and I'm going to tune in and see what they want to say on that first. It's deciding that you're worthy of the dream and deciding that you're going to live the dream. You need to say yes. This is a big fuck yes. Like, once you get the clarity, once you identify the dream, then you need to claim it. And claiming it, choosing it, is not something that you do once. It is a daily practice. Everything is a practice. I love to break this down for you guys this way, and I also kind of hate to. I don't hate to at all. I think at the normal collective human level, this is like, people will be like, what? I want the pill. Give me the pill that will make the weight fall off. Like, give me the pill that will correct the trauma. Mushrooms will just fix everything, right? In my brain, it's like, whoa, slow down. No. Supplements can help. They're moving so much energy through me. I'm just like, supplements can help, but they are not the end all be all. Okay, the Akashic Records are very practical. It's about being able, actually, if we break down all of the Akashic Records work I've ever done, it comes down to being able to intuit the field of awareness, understand your soul, understand what's possible for you, gain clarity on that vision as an actual vision, something that you feel like you can walk into and embody as a new and future version of yourself, something that feels comfortable, not comfortable as in like, oh, this is just like something I've experienced, like it's familiar. Comfortable as in, oh, that's me. That just feels like me. That sort of comfortable. Okay, so claiming your destiny. You have to choose it every day, whatever it is. And whatever it is will change. It's always going to shift and change and merge. You're always going to grow. You're always going to be doing more and more and more personal development work that is all streaming through your Akashic Records and your guidance. The beauty about working with the Akashic Records is like once you start working within it, you make a commitment. You have turned on the commitment to your soul growth, to your soul work, where then they have permission to gently guide and herd your consciousness. So whether or not you are in the Akashic Records for the day or the moment or your 10-minute meditation practice, the way the Akashic Records and our guidance, our spirit guides will speak to us, our higher self will speak to us, is, and I explained this in a video that I posted yesterday that I'll link below after the stream as well, or you can look in the live stream channel. But like they will just, they'll feel like your thoughts. Like you'll have a new thought and you're like, wow, I've never thought that thought before. Oh, that's really creative. Oh, wow. Like I've never seen that in that way before. Oh, wow. I've never tried that. You'll start getting a little excited. That's spirit. All right. What they do is they naturally, like I said, they herd your consciousness. That's the only term I have. Like the sheep, like the shepherd, like they shepherd your consciousness. They'll help you make the energetic connections at the subconscious and superconscious level so that your thoughts, when you're not in resistance or chaos, like your thoughts will naturally steer into the guidance that they're sending you. That guidance will often feel good. What I will say is that when guidance comes from fear, it's usually based in the ego. Spiritual guidance usually comes through as truth. It's very matter of fact. It's pretty neutral. Or it can have like a buzz, like an excitement from your heart. If it's coming from your heart, that's your own personal guidance. The records, your spirit guides will also speak through your heart. Okay, so claiming destiny. What else do you guys want to say on that? It's about what you do and when you do it. So if you have an idea, clarity in your mind of your dream life, what are you doing every single day to move yourself forward towards that dream life? Assuming that the dream life is yours, assuming you can have it, assuming that you are claiming your destiny. You have to claim it. Claiming it again as a daily thing. It's like you being like, this is who I am now. This is the new identity. I'm moving into it. It's rock solid. You know, even if I don't step into it tomorrow fully and completely, because you won't, it's done in chunks and pieces until we're able to adapt to the new version of ourselves, the new identity. You know that you can have it. You know that it's inevitably yours. I'm just checking in with them on something I was going to share, but... They said, you choose. I'm like, should I share this? And they're like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. I'm like, shit. All right, well, I guess we'll just do it. One of my things, like this has been a long-term goal of mine. Like, I will be a multimillionaire. I will be. It's not a question. It's never been a question for me. It's just a constant. It's always running in my subconscious, in the back of my mind. This is what we're moving towards. We're doing it with integrity and mutual interest, mutual benefit. It's being done with integrity. It's going to be done at the right time. I'm constantly moving towards it. I'm constantly moving towards it. I'm constantly moving towards it. The way I've planned my business, the way I've planned my life has been to support those longer term dreams for myself through time. It's a constant process. It's knowing that that is who you're becoming. I can literally feel my heart lighting up. It's knowing that that is who you're becoming. It's knowing that it's yours. Nobody can argue with it. Nobody can, like, you just know that it's you, which is why I can say that on a live stream, because I just don't care what anyone else thinks, because I've been carrying this with me at my core, and I just know that it's me. I know that it's meant for me, and I'm not so attached that I have to make it happen right now. I'm like, Spirit knows. Spirit knows what I can handle, when I can handle it, and when the best time for that progression is going to be, but I'll be damned if I'm not going to be planning myself right into it. So the way that I plan and contemplate everything is from that perspective of the freedom of the vision I have of my dream life with a lot of time and a lot of space, and things that matter to me, and a lot of financial freedom. And I think in those terms every day. So that's what they're saying. Think about it in the terms of like, this is true for me. Not only is this what I want, but it's mine. It's already mine. I know that I'm working towards it. So I can trust my own process. That is the claiming, and you do that daily. They said, have fun, don't make it so serious. And I'm like, well, I'm a little nervous that I just shared that. You guys see, I'm always so vulnerable because I feel like as a channel, it's like, I like never quite know what's going to come out of my mouth. We do. Okay, number 3, just going on the tail of the claiming your destiny. Number 3 is anchoring your dream into reality. Okay, these are these micro steps. This is taking daily practical action. The Akashic Records. Oh, actually 2 things. We're going to backtrack for a second on number 2. And I'm going to tell you what the Akashic Records do at each level, because these are the steps they streamed through me. In claiming your destiny, the Akashic Records help you do that. When you work within your Akashic Records, you start claiming your destiny. You make affirmations, commands, and statements. And then you work the energy through in whatever way you're guided to do. Again, just by doing the meditations that I give you guys, whether in the free program or in my very in-depth paid program, Akashic Records Immersion. Just you're working with your energy. It's working with an alchemy of energy that's very natural and very easy. That work helps you to solidify and claim your destiny. Rewriting your soul contracts in the Akashic Records is claiming your destiny. This is all done at the etheric level. It's recorded. That's the point. When they say claim your destiny at the energetic level through the Akashic Records, it has to be recorded. That's the record that they set. That is an energetic record, and then it's like slid into place within the records of all things. Like, hear ye, this person decided they're doing this thing. Start looking for some action. Like, it's like setting the intention into motion. Then number 3, anchoring the dream into reality. What the Akashic Records help you to do here is to spark and light the insights for you to know what is inspired action so that you can have the aha moments and the ideas to know what the next right step is. What's the next right step? Higher self, higher power, show me the next right step. That work gets very, very clear. You'll become very lucky working with the Akashic Records. It's having a total, I forgot to mention this, but they're sending it through. You have a total advantage. It's insane. Like, I've actually had people ask me over the last few years too. They're like, do you feel like your psychic skills give you an advantage over others? And I'm like, yeah, totally. I have a huge advantage all the time. That advantage, that knowledge is a form of power. And that is why integrity is so fucking important. Because if you overextend your power and you use that to control or manipulate others, there are huge karmic consequences. Now, your guardians and guides in the Akashic Records keep you in the sandbox that you're meant to be in. You're given a certain amount of grace. If you don't know what you're doing and you manipulate someone by mistake, you're not going to get smacked down with a hammer. If someone like me were to do that, I would have my gifts removed. Okay? It's like, you're met where you are. And I say that because I understand the power. I understand what it is to carry this much power. I understand my influence over others. I understand how my energy works. So I'm very attentive to the integrity, which is being clear in your energy, your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. I keep everything in alignment and in balance all the time. I do what I say what I do. If it takes me a little bit of time, it does, but my intentions always track through to actions. I'm very predictable in that way. I literally tell people what I will do, and I do everything I possibly can to do it. That's it. If something doesn't work, I let people know. Like, I'm always very, very straight with my integrity, because that is what is needed to carry the amount of spiritual power that I carry. You guys will be met right where you are. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be on the way. They will fill in the gaps for you. The issues that we run into, that I'm not going to dive deep into because I really don't think you guys need it, but the issues that we run into is an overactive ego, where the ego thinks it knows better than the humility of God, of source, of infinite intelligence, of your guides and guardians in the Akashic Records. Like, being attached to the outcomes, being attached to the power and using that power over others. When you have knowledge, when you have power, you have responsibility. That responsibility needs to be wielded with integrity. When you work with the Akashic Records, you are given a huge advantage over a lot of things. You're given access to your destiny, which is access to your highest timelines, which means you can see what choices you don't want to make. You'll be given insight into the future and know what will feel good and what won't feel good. The feel-good options are your highest timelines. That's an advantage. That means you're not falling prey to other people's projections of reality or fate, as it would be. Karma. Fate and karma are pretty synonymous. Destiny is the ability to choose away from karma, and there's collective karma, okay? Karma is not just ours. Fate or collective karma are like the collective understandings energetically of how much power everyone's projections have, who's overpowering what, who's manipulating what, and how heavy it is, how much power they actually have behind their will and their projection, their energetic projection. And the universe takes all of that, meshes it together with the law of karma, and then spits out fate. Fate is very unconscious. Working with your destiny contracts is being conscious. It's being conscious of your choices. It's being able to step away from fate. It is being able to step away from karmic consequences. You literally can step away from karmic consequences. You could choose to not meet negative fate by choosing new, by working with your energy in the Akashic Records, by seeing through the illusion. I have an entire module on this in the program I'm going to tell you guys about. Being able to cut through the illusion psychically and see the truth. And once you see the truth, you gain clarity on the next right steps for you, not based on the matrix, whatever fate would have you do, whatever karma would try to play you. I like that I said that like that. Whatever karma would try to play you. You can think about it like a trickster. This isn't your personal karma necessarily. This is like the collective karma. When we're manifesting things and they don't go all perfectly well, we're like, oh, we think we're bad manifestors, but actually everybody else is manifesting too, right? That's collective karma. That's fate. You can skip out on fate when you step into destiny contracts. You can skip out on fate when you enroll yourself into your personal development work, spiritual development work with your own Akashic Records, claiming your soul right, soul blueprint, working with your soul hand in hand in this way, and putting in the action. If you hear guidance and you don't move on it, baby, you're as good as dead. Like, you got to move on it. You got to do it. They're saying that phrase through me to create an urgency, but don't have fear around it because you're always given chances to make it right. You're always given ways to correct mistakes. You're always given another shot. You're always given another cycle, another way out. No bad thing is fixed in stone. All right. I really want you guys to know that. Actually, that's a lot of the work that I've done, is realizing that there's nothing that can't be undone. Like, if you fuck something up, let's go back into your Akashic Records. They're going to coach you right back into the place again to look at it, maybe dead in the face. And you might be, one of the phrases they use with me all the time is staring down the barrel of a gun. You might feel like you're staring down the barrel of a gun, which is just an intense fear by confronting a personal conflict, an idea, a limiting belief or pattern that has been confronting you in a heavy way. But even staring down the barrel of a gun, everything can be rewritten. Everything can be redone. You can choose new every choice every day. You can be rewriting your contracts every day. Your contracts, etherically, are your choices. It's your karma. Like, what choices do you want to make? What the Akashic Records will help you do a lot as well is work through the past karma, the past life, the generational bloodlines, the healing work that needs to be done that is unconscious, subconscious, automatic autopilot. The things that you haven't made conscious choices for, the choices were made for you based in past life culture, based in your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, your great-great-grandpa, 7 generations back. Whatever choices they made, that shit comes due now too, until we can resolve it and move through it. So the Akashic Records help you to be able to see those patterns so you can course correct your generational trauma, resolve the generational conflict that lives within your DNA. And they're telling me to pipe in now for myself as well, for you guys to know that that can be done and can be completed. I have completed all of my generational karmic healing. There's no more Emelina doing generational karmic healing. Like, it's done. Like, I took care of all the bloodlines. like we're good. She's done. My karma now is about me claiming my rights moving forward, me claiming a big space, me taking up space, me choosing what that space looks like, me working with spirit and creating a very new castle paradigm paradise for myself. Like, that's my new karma. So they asked me to say that because there are different, there's like pivot points in how you work within your own ascension practice and your Akashic Records work. Most of you will be working to alleviate, heal, and eliminate past life trauma, which are the culmination of your soul's choices in the multidimensional realities, parallel life realities, in the present moment. That can be done through past life regressions. I'll take you into that in the program that I have. Past life healings. Excuse me. Oh gosh, we got energy moving. Then there's, oh my gosh, where are we going? Then there's the generational karma, which is brought to your attention to heal in the moment now, which are going to be like insights and ideas around childhood wounding patterns, healing childhood trauma. A lot of you guys do this when you have kids, because as you're raising children, how you were raised is constantly mirrored and reflected back to you with new choices. There are other ways to do it as well, but subconsciously it's done automatically through raising children. It's like evolving the species, if you will. Okay, let me jump back in. So what else do you guys have to do about anchoring the dream into reality? It's taking micro actions. So I'm going to give you guys an example. Maybe you guys have heard this at some point in one of my streams. I'm not sure. Probably about 5 years ago, I had a real moment. Like, you know, I had a lot of abuse and trauma in my upbringing that ended up manifesting itself in me gaining a lot of weight in my 20s, because I didn't know how to work through the inner conflict. So I was kind of holding that PTSD at the cellular level in my body with weight retention. There was a point where I just got fed up and I was like, I'm losing the weight. I don't care. It's going to happen. It's going to happen under a year. But I gave myself a year, not a month. A year. Not 2 months, a year. And I started doing micro steps. It's so funny because this feels like it's so far away from my current reality, because the micro steps that I took are now just a part of my reality. Like, I went swimming yesterday. I ran 3 miles yesterday. I ran 3 miles the day before. I went swimming 2 days ago. Like, literally, like, I have built the micro habits in. When I started, I was like, okay, I want to lose 60 pounds. How are we going to do that? You guys are seeing that version of me. This is the skinny version. I had so much resistance to working out because I hated going to gyms. I hated seeing myself in a mirror. I hated a lot of things. So the micro habits, and now that I think about it, this probably was the Akashic Records, but I can't remember exactly. But there would have been a push, and I was working in my Akashic Records. I did a lot of healing work and past life trauma around weight retention, why I was holding the weight, and a lot of it was psychological abuse and physical abuse. So I worked those patterns out energetically, and then it occurred to me, I just need to make micro habits. I just need to start now. I need to start today, and I need to start with something that I can maintain. Maintenance is really, really, really important at the action level. Daily maintenance. What can you maintain? What is easy? So here's what I did. I was like, God knows she's not going to make it to a gym. She hates the gym. They smell disgusting. I still hate gyms. I will go rock climbing, but not a gym. And I was like, okay, what else do I love? I was like, I love being outside. Don't put me in some sweaty place. And I was like, okay, what's the cheapest thing possible? Because I already don't like working out. It's not like, I'm not going to pay for that. Like, what? I don't think so. So I bought a pair. Oh, no, I'm lying. Hold on. Not lying, but I'm trying to remember the first day that this happened. I didn't buy a pair of sneakers. I had Adidas Sambas. These are the worst fucking running sneakers. They are not for running, you guys. I had my Sambas. I would put my Sambas by the door. I bought a couple of new sports bras that were cute to keep me in the game, just to be like, look, see, I bought a couple of pairs of yoga pants, extra yoga pants just for running. I put them by the door, and I said to myself, Emelina, can you handle 10 minutes a day of exercise? Not an hour, not weightlifting. Can you do 10 minutes a day? And to myself, I said, I can handle 10 minutes a day. Is that all I need? You want the smallest step possible, the most manageable maintenance step that you can do, that you can maintain without thinking about it, that won't piss you off. And I went, okay, 10 minutes a day. can I run a mile in 10 minutes? I went, yeah, I can run a mile in 10 minutes. So I got up the next morning, and my key for myself was putting the workout gear by the door so I couldn't leave the apartment without seeing and then feeling guilty if I didn't go for the run that I had promised myself, because I promised myself a new body. So I go by the door and I'm like, okay, this is the discomfort we were talking about earlier, right? Like, it needs to be comfortable of a change. So I had the vision. The vision was me being 60 pounds lighter. Didn't know how the hell I was going to get there. I truly didn't. And then it's like, what's the comfortable action? The comfortable action is the one you can maintain. 10 minutes a day, I will run. I can run for 10 minutes a day. This is how I coached myself into it. I was like, 30 minutes a day, I don't know about that. That sounds painful. But 10 minutes a day, I can endure pain for 10 minutes. I will probably complain for 10 minutes, and that will be its own version of pain. So instead of complaining, looking at myself in the mirror and telling myself that I am ugly and hideous, which I used to do, I had some pretty tremendous body dysmorphia. I said to myself, I can take that 10 minutes and go for a run and experience pain in the body instead of pain in the mind, psychologically, where I abuse myself mentally. Instead, I'll go for a run. Who knows? Maybe I'll like it. I started doing that. I created a practice I ran every day for a year. Okay, I literally just did 10 minutes. And then and I hated running. After months, I started enjoying it. And I was like, God, I just freaking love running. And I would get it up to 10, 12, 15 miles. And I would do 15 miles around Beverly Hills, like running up into the flats. They're really beautiful. Literally to the point where my identity has shifted so much that like I got an injury last year in my feet. And I was like, what do you mean I can't run 15 miles? How am I going to live? Like, I have to have that. Like, I need that. Like, that's part of who I am now. Anyway, so it started there. And then you build upon those habits with more micro habits that are more action-based that you can create because you feel confident with the previous actions that you've taken. It gives you confidence. It gives you evidence that you can make the change. Then you start to see results. You think I didn't start to see results? I start to see those freaking results immediately. You go from no action, no physical movement, all of a sudden to like running a mile a day. After a month, you start looking pretty good. So then you want to do more. It creates progress. And I love that phrase, progress over perfection. That's like the whole thing. So anyway, most people didn't see me go through that process. And honestly, it wasn't that bad. And once I started getting some progress on the running, I started building in weight training at home. I bought some kettlebells. I still have them with me. And I would do weight training using the Sweat app. Any of you that need the weight loss thing, like this is what it was for me. I used the Sweat app and I went through the program that I loved the most. And I would do that program 3 to 4 times a week. And that gave me even more confidence. And then I started realizing, I can stack my protein meals right after I work out. And then that actually builds muscle, as opposed to just like food just being fuel for the body. Like you actually can choose to build less or more muscle and how that works and how that breaks down fat and everything. So I dove into all of it. I'm also a health nut. I've always been a health nut, even when I weighed more. And also, I've also always been an athlete. So only God knows how I got so slow. It was just trauma. Anyway, where else do you guys want to take me there? They had me take the very long, windy road of explaining to you at the very human level what that action looks like, what anchoring the dream into reality looks like. It is, oh my gosh, what's that phrase? Mundane. It's the power of the mundane, the magic of the mundane. Most of these changes will look like mundane changes. The Akashic Records will help you to bring your awareness and your consciousness to what needs to be done at the physical, practical level. They're very practical. If you go into the Akashic Records every day just to get a high and then you come back down here like as if you're doing a drug high, like they will boot your ass out. They'll let you do it for a minute. And then they'll be like, you try to get high up here. And then they'll smack you back into reality. I'm not even kidding you. They're very practical. The point of the guidance of this spiritual work, this spiritual system, is to change your life. It is to claim your dharma, claim your destiny, become someone new in the process, become an elevated, evolved version of yourself that you love and adore, who acts in a way that you love and adore, that you love yourself. You train yourself into complete self-love in every single way possible. until you're like me now, when I don't feel like I have body dysmorphia, and I really truly think I am very beautiful, and I'm happy to take photos of myself and have people take photos of me, and I'm happy to smile, and I do think I look gorgeous, and like that's very, very different than what I had 6 years ago. I promise you. So those sorts of shifts we can't often show, because when people come into our lives, like people that see me now are like, oh, you've always been like this. I'm like, oh, she has not always been like this. It took me a long time. There was a lot of trauma there. I had a very difficult upbringing, especially around my body. So, and then those changes just get baked into who you are, to the point where you almost take them for granted. You don't even think about it. And then it's like, it's almost like you forget that you went through it. Like even me talking to you guys in this stream, I'm like, oh my God, I would never run with Sambas today. What? I have like $150 running sneakers. Like there's no way I would run with Sambas. But it's funny because I did what I could with what I had in the moment. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, that version of myself, I'm just like, thank you so much, Emelina, for taking care of me. Like, it brings so much gratitude and love to myself. Thank you, sweetheart. I'll read through your comments after as well. Yeah, beauty is an inside job, you guys. You want to glow up. I said this in the last stream too. The Akashic Records help you to glow up. Glowing up is a healing process. I don't have that much attention on an external, how I look. It's very natural for me. What I do is I focus all of my attention on my healing work daily. It's been a lot more the last few years because I've been in a deep restoration process of my consciousness. Anyway, we'll skip that thought. But it's like, do you want a superficial thing? Working in the Akashic Records will help you look great without Botox. Kudos if you want to use Botox, but you don't have to. Healing restores the balance at the cellular level. It restores your pH balance literally in your body. It removes disease. It handles free radicals. There are very physical, practical things that happen when you heal your consciousness. You relax into a state of awareness of who you are. You understand your purpose in this life. You understand who you are, which is to understand clarity of your direction, what choices to make, what choices not to make, feeling confident in those choices, feeling confident in your future that you're creating, the people that you have around you, the healing that comes with it. It creates a very relaxed physical environment, and the body shines. It glows. You get more youthful. Like instead of aging, what do they call it? Youthing? I don't even think aging is real. I'm like, I don't know. Like if you're miserable, sure. But when you're constantly healing, like I don't know, like my body changes every year based on the amount of spiritual work that I do. You guys wouldn't even know. I forget to even talk about this stuff because it's just part of who I am at this point. My body has changed so much. I mean, you guys can see it in videos. Like if you go back in my feed, my face structure has even changed. My eye color has brightened significantly. I know you can't see it, I don't think right now. I'll show it in a video at some point. Like my eyes were a darker brown and I have gold. They're like mostly gold and they've got some gray on the outside. That shift changed. I'm not the only person that's experienced that. I've spoken to a number of people that do this sort of work that are psychics that their eye color completely changed when they did a lot of trauma healing. Your physical body will actually change. The constitution of my body has changed because I'm not holding trauma in the same places. So like I never had abs growing up, and I'm actually probably 10 pounds lighter now than I was in high school. And like, I have abs, I have obliques. Like these are things that didn't exist for me. My hips, when I was doing I did a lot of sexual healing, specifically past life regressions, parallel life regressions, and current life. I wouldn't recommend this for everyone. But I did go into my Akashic Records and I did relive certain events, mentally and emotionally. Moved through them sexually all by myself. I didn't bring a partner into this. So that I could heal the trauma I had been through. And when I did, this is my point to you guys, my hips changed. Literally, like the way I carried weight changed overnight. And this would happen every time I did one of these huge past life regressions. To the point where I would be like, are you kidding me? It looks like I dropped 10 pounds. Like I actually can feel that dip in my head. Like how was that possible? I never had that growing up. Because the way that our bodies are a reflection of our subconscious mind. So whatever we're holding in the subconscious is projected into the body. So when you stop holding the trauma, the body changes. It's really miraculous. Like even these, it's so funny to make this so physical, but my collarbones, they never, like, I know you guys can't see my shoulders either. I'm just like walking you through the healing work that I've done. I did a ton of healing around my femininity, around me not carrying stress and the weight of the world. And you guys wouldn't know, but I know because I know what I used to look like, how delicate my shoulders got. I was much heavier up here. Even when I was like light, I could be the same weight, but with that same trauma, my weight would carry up here and would stack on my hips. When you work through this, and obviously women will benefit from this the most. I'm like, well, men, yes, your weight will change too, but for women, it's just a very different process on how we hold weight. When you heal your consciousness, when you heal your energy, when you heal your emotional body, and when you heal your physical body through like good eating, good movement, you know, healthy stuff, your body, the expression of your physical body actually changes. All of this to say, there's a real tune-up. There's a real glow up. There's a real youthing process here. You know, like if there's an area on my body now, there's nothing that's pissing me off right now because I've done so much of this work. But if there's an area of my body that makes me upset, and this is a cue for you guys too, if there's something that you're really in resistance around in your body, it means there's something energetically and emotionally that needs to be healed. It's calling your attention. I was like, I have a scar over here that's been grabbing my attention recently, and I've been massaging it, talking to it, sweet talking it, like, you know, it's like working with your body because your body is the product of the subconscious mind. Anyway, let me swing back over to the Akashic Records. All this healing work I did in the Akashic Records. A lot of it came down to past life regressions, parallel life regressions, just sitting in the records and asking them to bring my attention to conflict, what the root of the conflict is, why it exists, and then heal it. And then give me new action steps. Because once you heal something, you need to replace it with something else. So if you heal something, then there's a void. You fill that void with the golden light of the Akashic Records, which I go through in my program. You fill it with light, right? And then the way to make sure that you don't slip back into an old pattern is by moving into immediate action. Those immediate actions also move you forward into the new reality, into your new future, into your new identity. So it actually not only does it heal it and keep you from being pulled back into the past, if you think about a rubber band, it's like if you have constant trauma, you're pulled back into the past and you've got a little bit of your attention in the present, but most of your momentum spiritually is in the past. It's behind you. That creates a lag of time. It creates a lot of time. And I'm glad you guys are seeing this visual with me. Then when you heal that trauma, you heal that understanding, you heal that conflict, you heal those ideas, you heal those limiting beliefs, you bring your momentum into the present moment. You're like, okay, I'm like driving my car. I'm in the present moment. Okay, sweet. Now what? Right? Then you create micro steps and daily micro actions to begin pulling you forward into your new identity and your new momentum. I actually really like these visuals, okay? So let me do that again. So most of us in our consciousness are sitting like this. The driving being in the present moment, okay? And we're like, oh, I'm trying to move forward, but all of my weight is sitting back. So it's like hard because you're already moving backwards. So it's like, how the fuck are you going to do anything moving forwards when you've got all of your spiritual momentum moving backwards? That's the past. It's backwards. It's just a pullback. So you heal to bring yourself current, to bring yourself present. And then once you're present, you create actions and steps to move yourself forward to create the future identity of where you want to go. And depending on how many actions you take, it's like boop, 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 boop. boop, boop. And then you're driving the car like I'm driving to my future baby. It's so good. Anyway, I hope that's helpful for you guys. Okay, I think there was one more. They have one more or two more. Oh, they have a couple more tips for me. Oh, actually, we kind of covered it. So number 4 was clear the rubble. That was the rubble. The rubble is the healing. It's when you're in the Akashic Records, we always ask, like, what's the root of this problem? This is my problem. I would usually go into the record and say, this is my problem. This is what I want to resolve. What should I do? And then they'd bring my attention to the root. Well, what's the root of the problem? Because otherwise it's like a dandelion. It's like, okay, you could pluck the top off, but the dandelion's going to grow back anyway in like a week. So like if you handle a symptom, it's only going to be corrected for a moment. You have to handle the whole root. If you want scarcity to stop, you got to pull the whole root out and say, what caused this? And look at it and heal the root, not the symptom. The Akashic Records will bring your attention to clearing the rubble. If you don't do it all consciously, subconsciously, again, they'll bring it to you all of a sudden seeing what's not working in your environment. That's not a dysfunction. This happens for a lot of people that start doing this work or start doing spiritual awakening work, is all of a sudden everything's not working anymore. And it's like, well, no, it was always not working. But the truth is that you were pretending it was working. Whereas now your consciousness is aware to the fact of like, this shit doesn't serve me anymore. So it brings it current. It brings it due in your karma with immediacy where you then see it and acknowledge this sucks. I don't like this anymore. It doesn't mean that there was never any dysfunction and now there is. It means now your awareness has been brought to it so you can make the change. And that's a miracle by itself. So clearing the rubble could be your attention being brought into relationship patterns, patterns of behavior, addiction patterns, God knows, pretty much everyone's got them. Patterns in your environment that are no longer working. That's clearing the rubble. Clearing the rubble, it can also literally be doing past life regression work. You know, those years leading up to when I lost all of that weight, I can't even tell you guys. I don't do past life regression work anymore because I don't feel like I need it. I can just handle things in the moment. But like I would do a past life regression every day. And I worked through hundreds of past life regressions, which are just like expressions of the soul that are in conflict that need to be reconciled through the conscious mind. I'm not saying you have to do hundreds. It's like wherever you're guided, wherever for you, you're led, you'll be drawn into certain practices more, certain rituals more that help you more and others less. And that's part of the joy of this process is knowing what you like, what you prefer, and trusting and working your own process around it. So that's clearing the rubble. It's understanding what limiting beliefs are standing in the way and being able to clear them. And that's only done. They specifically made this number 4 and not 3. I asked them, that's only done after you start taking action towards your new reality. They want you taking action to the new reality first because it throws the fishing line out before everything crumbles underneath your feet. Because if you try to remove all the limiting beliefs before you know where you're going, all of your consciousness is going to be stuck in the area of like, I'm surrounded by a building that just fell down, and then you freak the F out. You have to know where you're going. You have to set that fishing line out. You have to set your GPS coordinates in the quantum to know where you're going. Otherwise, you won't have enough momentum to deal with the rubble of where you've been and clean it up. Spirit will clean a lot of that up for you. Most of it up for you. Especially enrolling in a program like what I'm going to offer for you guys. Okay, and then number 5 is paving the way for others. Once you receive your healing, once you receive your activations, once you receive a really robust level of awakening and consciousness, that is your heart, that is your love, that is your self-expression. You change. Your consciousness changes, your identity changes. And then you offer that healing to others. You pave the way for others. No, this does not mean you're all going to become Akashic Records coaches, although you're welcome to if that's what you want to do. It means that whatever has healed within you, you then become the living, breathing example or model of that healing that you then model and show and even maybe teach others how to anchor that within their own reality to see from a more healed and whole perspective in whatever way that most works for you. And that could be in your career. It could be a hobby thing that you do. It could be on the side mentoring like children. It could be mentoring adults. Like it's like, it's all just whatever it is that you've healed, you then pass it forward in whatever way feels right for you. Spirit's not demanding, as in it's like, it has to be, blah, 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 blah. It's like whatever way feels for you, feels good for you. And that service, that like example, that modeling, that healing anchors your healing so you never slip back. Because to be in a position where you are assisting or in service to someone else is to be in that, it is to be in that forward momentum of not being in the problem. The addiction patterns, the problems, the lack of consciousness, the unhealed self would be back here. So whenever you're in service, whenever you're helping pave the way for others, right? Like what I'm doing with you guys, it keeps me in the forward momentum of keeping myself in a healed and whole position. I don't feel like I have to work at that. Like this is just what I do now. But there were points in my life where I was struggling and fighting and resisting against that. And I'm happy I'm no longer doing it like that. I'm just doing the thing. I'm just the living, breathing service because that's what works for me. So those are, this is a very long stream. I'm always going to be doing long stream with you guys. This is like all I can do because I just chat it up. So this was the 5 steps to make your dreams a reality in the Akashic Records. Now, stick around. I'm going to run through my program and answer any questions that you guys have. And I will look through the comments as well. If you've enjoyed this video so far, go give it a like, drop a comment down below. Let me know what resonated, what you liked, what felt good, what aha moments came through, because God knows the Akashic Records are speaking to all of you in these streams. A stream like this, like they're already on your consciousness. So whatever comes through is meant for you. It's like a moment for you where they are helping you to heal and course correct part of your past or part of your thinking or part of your way of being, part of your way of seeing and perceiving yourself. And that's all beautiful. So to jump into the program, my program is called Akashic Records Immersion. I teach you how to access and read or intuit your own Akashic Records. It's essentially the language of the soul. It's you. I teach you how to understand your soul. It speaks a different language. It's called intuition. Now, you don't need to be psychic to work within the Akashic Records. I will teach you how to do that. The Akashic Records will teach you and cultivate your energy on how to do that. Because the truth is, there are probably like 12 core psychic traits, like clairaudience, which is the ability to hear, clairvoyance, which is the ability to see visions, clair gusto, clair taste, all the clairs, okay? Clairsentience, which is like the knowing in the body. It's when you just know something, you don't know where it comes from, you just know, you just get this download, like that's clairsentience. There are hundreds and thousands of subtle micro psychic gifts. And because of the work that I do, I can see things in people all the time. I'm like, whoa, I've never seen that psychic gift before. That's like incredible. That's amazing. Where'd you get that from? Like, I don't know. There are so many things. Anyway, I don't train you into a specific psychic gift. What I do is I train you to receive and understand your intuitive abilities as they are now in a natural way. Working within your own Akashic Records will heighten and amplify those intuitive abilities naturally, and I will guide you to understanding that so you can tell the difference between spirit and ego, because sometimes it sounds the same. It's all in your head, right? Like some people wonder, a lot of people wonder if they're going crazy. It's like, no, you just need somebody to show you like which thoughts are more intuitive and which are more of your reptilian brain or fear-based. A lot of our intuition can mix them, and it's being able to understand that mix. Like for me, I can navigate when it's my mind just going off and my ego, or when it's spirit, or when it's a mix of both. I can actually track most of it. And I have a lot of, for you guys to know, I have a lot of accountability around me. I keep a lot of wonderful soulmate psychics near me. And we all talk about things because I always want to be held accountable to my gifts to make sure that I'm constantly seeing accurately. And that's essentially what I'm providing for you guys. It's like teaching, shepherding, cultivating that aspect of your consciousness so you can understand your intuition, understand how it speaks to you personally. Because again, there are sweeping intuitive understandings, but intuition is very you. It is very like There are specific things that I hear, that I see, that tell me a certain sequence of events and what I need to do, what I need to not do, what's dangerous, what's safe, that will not apply to anyone else. It's like me. So when I help you guys in this way, in this program, I'm teaching you how to trust your own intuition, how to identify your intuition, and how to amplify it, how to work with it. It is like, it's almost like Play-Doh. Like you're being given a couple colors of Play-Doh. So like, okay, you've got some version of clairsentience. A lot of you have clairsentience, by the way. That's like the knowing. That's like the most psychic gift. It's like where people don't see or hear anything. It's just like all of a sudden you just got all this information. It's like, I think it's one of my strongest ones, actually. That's like where the channeling comes in. It's clairsentience. That will sound like it's coming from your mind. And it's like, nope, that's like straight God. So anyway, it's like you have several Play-Dohs, different colors, which are like your different intuitive clair gifts, okay? Psychic gifts. And then the way that you play with them or understand them, like, oh, this color is like this gift is kind of like this for me. Oh, this gift feels like this. There are sensations with certain psychic gifts where you might not be able to mentally explain it because it could be clairsentience. It's coming through the body. For women, our bodies are very, very psychic. Men's as well, but women's it's heightened in a more intense way. Excuse me. So being able to understand those subtle differences is like really important. So the way we work within the Akashic Records is I'm teaching you a daily meditation practice and taking you step by step as a cosmic child to opening up your consciousness to understand who your soul is, what your soul is, how your soul likes to express itself. And again, that is a language, and that language is spoken through your intuition. So I have to teach you how to dissect your intuition, how to intuit your intuition, how to understand it, what the translator is, and then, okay, like now that we've got the intuitive hits, like what the F do I do with all this shit? I'm going to teach you that too, okay? We're getting like real like old school here. How to take good direction, what questions to ask, what is a healed state of awareness, how to produce that healing, how to go through parallel and past life regressions, what they mean, what you take from the gifts from the past version of yourselves, how to understand even not just past, but future tripping, not in the bad way, but like future scanning timelines. I don't really do this anymore because she's psychic AF. It drove me crazy. You guys, you have no idea how much timeline work I would read. So I don't really read future timelines anymore because it drives me nuts. But when you're working the process of understanding how to make decisions, you can go into the Akashic Records and ask, okay, option A, option B, option C, show me the outcome for each timeline. For those of you that do tarot, it's like asking the cards, your subconscious, like, what's the outcome of this option? If I choose this option, what's the future outcome of this option? If I choose this option, what's going to happen here? Or like, you can work on telepathy in the Akashic Records, which I don't know if I want to go into telepathy, but it's like understanding people's intentions. That's what I would say instead of telepathy. It's not speaking one-to-one with them. It's just understanding what their intentions are, understanding what your intentions are, and then seeing if there's a match. That relationship work is done in the Akashic Records, rewriting your soul contracts, understanding your family contracts, moving through generational trauma, moving through meaning healing. What else have I got? So it's 6 modules. Let me give you the specs here and we'll run through the modules. So 6 modules, 7 if you include the welcome module. You get full-time life access. I will be adding into this probably by the end of the summer. Actually, I want to add another module. So you guys will get access to this forever when you enroll. Right now it's 17 to 20 hours, I think, of video content. Each module has a full-blown workshop, a big meditation in that workshop to take you through a practice that you then continue through the week. The modules are meant to be taken weekly or bi-weekly. So, I mean, if I were to really digest this content, I would say spend 2 weeks on each module and do the daily homework every day for that 2 weeks so that you can really anchor these states of awareness, which are done through practice, okay? It's through meditative practice. I do have a community built into the membership dashboard and portal where you can ask me questions. You can get a hold of me. I will go in as I'm guided and answer anything I can answer. I may shoot little mini videos. There are things I want to do with you guys in this program. You will have access to me in that way. It is a self-guided program. What else have I got? There's tons and tons of videos. Like, they're cute. You'll love them. I promise. The entire program can also be downloaded in audio format if you're more of a podcast style or you want to listen to it while you're driving. Again, I would just stick to 1 module per week or 1 module every other week to allow yourself to digest and download the psychic data, which whether or not you identify as being psychic, it is psychic and will come in like a very, very intuitive way. Did you say you're coming? You're enrolling? I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to jump more into this, but like, I have to tell you guys, as I've been getting enrollments all day, you guys, when your energy enters the program and I receive your emails, like you're going to see me cry. Like, I can feel you guys healing when you enroll. I can feel the container healing everyone. I can feel the changes. And it literally, like, I was crying like all day today. I was just like, I just feel so blessed. Because, like, for you guys to understand, you can watch this in the last video. I'll tag it below. The amount of, God, this is my work, you guys. Like, I've spent like a decade on this. Like, the amount of work, the amount of trauma I healed, the amount I moved through. Of course, I'm better for it. And that's enough. But, like, literally my soul contract is to provide this healing work for others and allow them to heal themselves through the same method that I took because it worked for me at my soul level and I understand this practice. It's like, it's like, I don't know, it's just such a different vibe. It's like it's so worth it for me to have gone through all the shit I went through, knowing that you guys get to heal as a product of it. I guess that's what I'm saying. Is I'm like, oh, this wasn't just for me. You mean I went through all that pain so other people could heal in front of me too? Like, can you tell I'm a healer? I'm like, there's like, it's hard for me to not want to help people. Like, I've had to work through a lot of codependency patterns in the past. I'm very not codependent now. But it's like everything in me just is like, if I can help you heal, I want to. And it makes all this struggle that I've been through in my life palatable for myself. So anyway, that's my tangent. Okay, so 6 modules. I'm going to take you guys through what they are. The welcome module, there's some info on starseeds in there. The Arcturian Light Council channel explains the Akashic Records. It's like honestly one of my favorite videos in general because I love how the Arcturian channel described the Akashic Records. Those guides are wonderful. Module number 1 is accessing your Akashic Records. This is where we start in a workshop where I teach you what the Akashic Records do, why they're important, how you can start working with them. I also want to side tangent for a moment here. The beauty of this program, because I was watching through it this last week, I would never teach it the way that I taught it, and I fucking love how I taught it. Because if I taught this program now, I would skip over all of the basic steps that you guys need at the collective level. When I rewatched through this last week, I was like, oh my God, it's so perfect that I shot it a few years ago. It's so perfect because that part of my consciousness is closer to where you guys are starting. And it's like, it's so good. I'm so happy that I did it because now I would gloss over all of that and I might lose you guys. And I'm literally like, nope, I documented this whole thing. It's so good. And now I can give you like the expert level shit that I stack on top of it as I record more and add more into this program, which I have every intention of doing. And I'm very excited about. I added some in last year as well. For those of you that have already taken it, there's always more here for you. Okay, so where is it going? Accessing your Akashic Records. Oh yeah, I talk about ascension symptoms, what that is like at the physical level. That kind of rubs people like It's like what I was saying, like a lot of ascension practice, things look like they're dysfunctional, but it's actually a product of them working. It's like, no, things are moving through. These are ascension symptoms. It's understanding how to read your Akashic records, quick tips, what it means to heal and transform in the Akashic records. I go into that. I give you homework in every module. There are practices to do. I have a book that I'm going to ask you to get to follow along with. What else we got? Oh, and I'll remind you guys too, I'm going to go through the rest of this just so you guys hear me walking through my own program. But when you're ready, if you're ready, there's a link in the description below. It's iamemelina.com/akashic-records. Right now it's 70% off. I will probably keep that going for another couple days. I haven't decided exactly when I'm going to close the doors, but I will try to let you guys know. If you miss it for any reason and want to jump in, just send me an email. I am a human, not a robot machine, like as in like just get in contact with me. I have so much love for you guys and I want you to heal. So if there's anything I can do to help you access my program, let me know. There is a financial invocation prayer for any of you that are stuck financially or having any issues with any of that, that if you scroll down to the bottom of the landing page, say that prayer, meditate with that prayer, really say it from your heart. If the program is meant for you, something will click into place, something will happen. People come into financial miracles all the time when they jump into my programs. It's like very miraculous. I'm always very excited about it because it's spiritual work. When you claim your destiny, you claim your right, the quantum changes, your guides change and give you access to new outcomes and new realities, and money can pop out of nowhere. Okay, what else do I want to say on that? Use the code ANCESTORS at checkout. It will take 70% off of the full price, and it will also take it off of the payment plans. The payment plans, it's a 6-month payment plan with bi-weekly payments. They are very, very accessible. If that's something that's easier for you. If you do pay upfront in full, I will send you a cute little care package. I've got some crystals that I've been meaning to send out to wonderful people like yourselves. I am a big crystal nerd, and I've got some cool little, I'll just put together a little care package. Something cute from Emelina with a channeled message that will be sent to you as a thank you for paying in full. What else did I want to say there? Okay, I think that's it for logistics. And then let me run through the rest of the program. Those of you that are interested, you can continue to listen on the rest of the modules. Check out the landing page. I always stack my landing pages with all of the information that you need to make a decision. I want you to feel happy and confident with your decision. So 2 things on that. I don't usually offer refunds, but this time I was guided. I want to help make the decision feel more comfortable for you. So if you go into the program and enroll and within 24 hours, like you look at the content, if it's not for you, if my teaching style is not for you, just send me an email and I'll send you a refund. But I really do think you guys are going to love it. I don't typically offer refunds because the energetic container is held by your own leap. There is a consciousness leap where you have to create an action that's a little bit outside of your range of your comfort zone to actually receive the healing energetically that you need. You're generating it yourself within your own Akashic records. This is actually the case for all of my programs. You have to put in for yourself. So anyway, all that being said, I trust that you're going to make the right decision for you. And I have so much trust and faith in your ability to trust yourself and your decisions and Spirit's ability to lead you, that I trust that you're going to make whatever decision is the best for you. Okay, so I've got that baby guarantee. Also, if you're wondering if the program's right for you, does this resonate with you? Do these videos resonate with you? Does it feel good? Does it feel like there's something in your soul that's waking up? Do you get kind of excited and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm like getting more energy just from this stream? Those are indications that this is right for you. Another way of doing this is to breathe, take 3 or 4 deep breaths into your heart space. Feel the program, feel the energy of the program. It's AKASHIC Records Immersion. You can just connect to that idea and say, does this feel right for me? And your heart will let you know. Does it feel expansive? Does it feel constrictive? If it feels like a yes, there's your answer. There's a yes. You can take a big leap, run. Maybe it's not a big leap. Maybe it's a small leap. Maybe it's an easy leap. It is a healing program, so likely there will be a leap in the process. I don't think I've ever experienced something, even things that are financially easy for me, that aren't a big financial leap for me, like something that would require more healing from me. I always feel like, oh gosh, okay, I'm doing this. I'm doing it. I don't know how, but I'm going to do it. There's always like an initiation energetically. So that's something to keep in mind too. I think that's what I've got there. Let me think what else for you guys. I explained the modules on the landing page. I've got testimonials of what it's like to work with me. I've got like one-on-one session reading testimonials on the page. And I've also got 2 video testimonials from previous alumni that explain the program a little bit. I adore both of them. You're welcome to watch those. Anything else you need to allow yourself to feel comfortable saying yes to this purchase, let me know. Send me an email if you've got any questions, if you have any issues, if you need a different sort of payment plan, let me know. If you're waiting for a payment from your employer or a paycheck or something like that and you need to move it off a day or whatever, just send me an email. Let me know. I'm a human. Like I'm here to help you. I'm not like cart closed, get out. like we're not one of those. I know a lot of digital course creators do things like that. I'm not like that. Just get a hold of me, okay? Human to human. All right, that's what I've got there. I love you guys so much. I feel like so excited talking about this whole thing. So let me jump back into my modules now. You know, I like get these side tangents, run around, just trying to manage attention. Anyway, so module 1 is accessing your Akashic records. We went into that. Module 2 is discovering your soul essence and tapping into your higher potential. All right, I will scream until I'm blue in the face. Not scream, but I will talk until I'm blue in the face about stepping into your higher potential, about accessing and magnetizing your higher timelines is our trendy phrase now. But it's really your highest potential, okay? It's stepping away from your past, stepping into your future, creating that future in a way that is of highest service to you and that is the most fun and that you're excited about in all ways. So again, there's a workshop. There's a long extended workshop in every module. There are meditations in every module. The feedback I get the most in this program is people are like, of course, the content, the mental content is great and perfect and we need that. But the biggest feedback that I get is that people adore the meditations. They are guided healing transmissions in your Akashic records. I give you several different ascension technologies. Those of you that have taken any of my meditation programs, they are active transmissions, active channels that are sent through your Akashic records. There is a healing, awake, alive consciousness with everything that I do. I am a shaman. And I say a cosmic shaman because I'm working with energy. I do it at the 5D level. I do it within the Akashic records and within the quantum. So you are accessing that alive energy when you go into any of these meditative practices as an alive consciousness. It is a medicine. Okay. Anyway, people love the meditations. People get new downloads every time they go through the meditations. Every time you go through the meditation, you'll get a new healing, a new level of a layer of your subconscious and superconscious will come forward and teach you and heal you. Every time you do them is a new time. You get different downloads, different moments, different ahas, different awakenings. They're really beautiful. I have clients that go through these all year. Like they'll be like, I do a different meditation every month and I do it every day for the month. Like there are plenty of meditations in there. You get a whole meditation vault and I'm always adding to it because I want you guys to have access to the ascension technology that you need to heal. It's like sitting with me as a shaman. That's what the meditations are. It's like sitting with me and going through the actual healing. But the way that Emelina heals is I help you heal your consciousness as opposed to like doing Reiki or more hands-on things. Like I'm here to help you heal your consciousness. I'm a pro at working with energy and the Akashic records. So everything is programmed to work with your consciousness. A lot of you will have little miracles. I don't know what they're all going to look like when you enroll or soon after enrolling, things in your life will kind of just start to rearrange themselves. You'll start to notice things more easily. You'll start to realize maybe waking up a little bit more happy. This isn't for everyone. It's going to come differently for each of you, but just on enrolling, the leap that is required in enrolling, you saying yes to your destiny. That's what this program is. When you enroll, you are claiming your destiny. It's a contract. It's a soul contract. Whether or not you even move through the entire program, it is a living, waking container that will hold you. It's holding you for the rest of your life because you're getting access to your Akashic records. And I did say this in a previous video that, again, I will link below. But when you're working in the Akashic records on my transmission, when you enroll in any of my work, that is my personal integrity. It's my energetic healing transmission with my soul, with my guides, with the structure of all of the Akashic records as well. The point is, it's totally irreplaceable. Okay, there are a lot of Akashic records coaches, readers. We all teach very differently. My transmission, let me think about how I can explain it. It's very safe. It is very practical. There's no like escaping up into the clouds. A lot of people do that with Akashic Records work. I'm right here. I'm like, we make this shit real. So even just when I say transmission, you're receiving, it's like receiving a Reiki download. Like all of a sudden you're given a healing ability when you work with a Reiki master. You're working with an Akashic Records master. This Akashic Records master is a shaman and knows how to bridge the cosmic and the practical. That's a lot of the transmission you receive, is you'll start to live your spirituality in your real life in a very practical way. You won't be floating off in a cloud. Like you'll have better relationships. You'll have a better relationship with your food. You'll have a better relationship with your environment. You'll be more balanced, more whole. People will say, what changed about you? I heard that about a client recently. She was like, people have been asking me like, what changed? Like, what did you do? It's like been a while. And she was like, oh my gosh, I took this Akashic Records program a year ago. And I did all this healing work. Like, it's really incredible. Okay. What else do I want to say there? I teach you how to go into your Akashic Records, how to exit your Akashic Records. You know, when you leave the Akashic Records, they're a different vibrational container. There is a grounding practice and ritual that is necessary for you to reacclimate to your physical reality, especially when you're starting. So I teach you all of that. I've got soul retrieval meditations in there to call back the power from your soul, which is like when we live circumstances where we don't know what to think or what was right ethically or morally. It creates a fragment in your consciousness or a fragment in your soul where you leave it for later. You're like, your soul goes, I'll deal with that later. It's like a trauma point. So anyway, I teach you how to collect that power back, how to resolve those fears, how to resolve those inconsistencies in your thoughts, actions, and behaviors, and your energy. What else have I got? Again, you guys get daily homework, and you got to do the homework, okay? Don't skip it. You can do it slow. You can do it over time, but you got to do the homework. You will get what you put in. Module number 3 is mediumship. Let me go back. You'll get what you put in. The more spiritual development work, the more that you hold yourself in integrity to actually integrating and learning the material, obviously, the more you will occupy it in your current state of, like, you'll grow your awareness. You'll be able to see with new eyes. You'll become a different person. You'll have that glow up that you want. Just by enrolling, just by being a part of the program, you're kind of kept up energetically. It's like having an active transmission running through your fields. That transmission is the Akashic Records leaning on my integrity practice at the soul level, which is just like, what's another way of me saying that? A lot of you won't know this unless you're psychic, but there are things called backdoors, okay? There are things that are residuals, residual contracts, loopholes, bullshit is what we would call it. Where bullshit can enter your life. On the shadow can enter your consciousness when you allow it to, from a lack of integrity. I'm always so good with my integrity in everything that I do. Like, energy matches thoughts, matches emotions, matches physicality and actions. Intentions match actions, always. If they don't, I heal, I rearrange it, and then I set a standard to then create better intentions and better actions to match those intentions. That practice creates an energetic container that when you guys enroll, that container doesn't have any of the openings for shadow to enter, is my point. Because my personal integrity, typically you guys would have to do this yourselves. Also, you'll do it yourself, but you're leaning on a model, essentially. My personal energetic integrity is so strong that my Akashic Records transmission is, I don't know how else to explain it. I might ask them. It's a whole transmission. The Akashic Records are not just light, you guys. There are dark records, okay? The Akashic Records can be used for nonsense and bad things and manipulations as well. That is not accessible and will not come into your field in my transmission because I am carrying the pure sacred flame and sacred light through everything that I do, through everything that I've practiced. I've been held to very high standards energetically. I feel very, very blessed to have done this work and to have been held to these higher energetic standards, so that my point is it's a very, very safe intuitive development practice for you where you truly don't need to worry. Not that you would, but like when I go into other people's programs, like I'm watching, like I'm like, where's your integrity at? Because I don't want to absorb any shit that I'm gonna have to clean up later karmically, because it's just too much nonsense and too much work for me. This program will give you a full elevation. And I'm going to ask the Akashic Records what they want to say on that, because they wanted me to identify that in the stream, and I forgot, and then they reminded me, and I just brought it back in. I feel like a child right now. I'm like, da, 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 da. Did you guys want to say anything else about that? If you guys saw the video I posted last week, they just said to me, welcome to the jungle. Okay, so for you guys to understand, and they want you to have this awareness, the Akashic Records are not a perfect, pure, like innocent place. My transmission is, because I have very strongly built that practice. So what they said is welcome to the jungle. The Akashic Records are an etheric database, a soul database, but it is a jungle. How you navigate the jungle, what you claim, what you don't, what integrity you come in with, what your service is, what you set as your vibrational standards, your vibrational range. Everybody that works with me in the Akashic Records is here to claim their destiny, their right to their destiny contracts, their right to take the hand, the pen of God, right with God, and create a new life that is their glow up, that is a life that they want to live, that is their highest potential, that are their highest timelines, that are accessing the most of what it is to be your soul expressed in your human body. That is my transmission. That is not everybody's transmission. That is not always the Akashic Records work. That is the Akashic Records work that is facilitated through and by me. Whether it is my live streams, whether it is my free training program, or whether it is the Akashic Records Immersion, which is obviously the deep dive. We go deep. All right. That felt like a release for me. Okay. So now that I spent 10 minutes talking about that, let me jump back into the modules. I'm so happy you guys are still with me. Okay, so module 3 is mediumship. All right, it's connecting with your higher self and your spirit guides. When I say mediumship, it's less about channeling dead people. It's less about channeling external entities, or like, you know, most people when they think think psychics, they think ghosts. I don't play with any of that shit, okay? I've never wanted to see ghosts. I created a big boundary with that when I was a kid. I was like, don't show me ghosts. I don't want to see any of it. Anyway, so the mediumship is your ability to connect with your own higher self, your higher intuitive faculty, we could say, your higher mind. There is a higher mind and a lower mind, which I will explain more at some point. Your higher self speaks in a language that is unique to you. That is a mediumship ability. It is a channeling ability to understand how your higher self speaks, to intuit the data from the higher self, and then to take action based on what the higher self is telling you to do. All right, so it's an entire practice. I teach you to be very safe with this practice. I teach you how to install gatekeepers into your consciousness so nobody's coming around and bringing any shit to your consciousness, because we live in a very crazy world, okay, psychically. I have been through the ringer. And I can tell you that safety is so effing important to me that I bake it into everything I do. So you guys even get a sacred invocation prayer that creates safety for your entire life, psychically, especially if you were to say that regularly. I had a client go through that last year, and she had a ton of stuff clear up. She literally called me and she was just like, or it was on one of our sessions. She was like, I can't believe that prayer cleared up so much for me. And I was like, I know, that's what it does. Like, so it's creating protection for yourself. Guidelines to keep in mind when you're channeling, how and why channeling is important, what mediumship is exactly for you, even if you don't identify as being psychic. It doesn't really matter. It's you connecting to yourself and understanding yourself to that level. Because again, the soul speaks differently than the human. There is a translation process. Developing a relationship with your higher self. We're not all just given immediate access. You have to develop a relationship with your higher self the way you develop a relationship with a friend. The reason why I can be so casual with all of my psychic work at this point is because I have relationships. They're all on call. They know my frequency. They know how to get a hold of me, and I know how to get a hold of them. You know, but you need to dedicate and create that relationship. I teach you how to do that. I teach you what questions to ask in the Akashic Records, how to address the roots of issues, not the symptoms, so that you can actually remove any problem areas of your life out of your consciousness and heal them completely. I have tons of PDF downloads and ebooks that are beautifully designed as well, that have all the meditation practices, so you can print those out if you'd like to, or you could just go through the meditations in the program or download the audio meditations. Module number 4 is creating unshakable confidence and radical self-belief. I think that confidence is extraordinarily important to any intuitive development work. I've baked it into the program. I teach you how to manage your energy, how to increase your energy, increase your power, understand your power, wield your power in a healthy way with integrity. I teach you how to call in miracles and manifestation. I have an entire 5-step manifestation process that I use very, very actively. That'll be very simple and easy for you guys to understand. It was all, when I worked this program, it's channeled directly from Divine Mother, the cosmic mother of the multiverse universe. It's really incredible. I really think you're going to love it. I help you to cultivate your power. And that module, we focus on collapsing time and quantum leaps, what's required, how to reduce the friction, reduce the resistance, and bring the future to you in a faster way, where you're working with the spontaneity of life. That's a skill set. Yes. Okay. Module number 5 are soul contracts. So these are writing your future and negotiating your contracts. So soul contracts come in the form of like health. What's your contract with your body? Your family. What's your soul contracts with your family? What's your soul contracts with your soul family? What are your soul contracts with life partners? What are your soul contracts with your spirituality? Your career, your money and finances. That's an entire soul contract that can be rewritten. Now, when you rewrite the contracts, it's where the records record your desires, and they will help you create and manifest them in the hall of the records, right? It's like going to court and being like, listen, this is how I want my finances to go moving forward. I don't know what this nonsense is that was happening earlier, but this is how it's going to go now, okay? And then they stamp it, like, okay, approved. If it's approved, you'll know. Your higher self will guide you to what work needs to be done, or what the actual goal is for you with each soul contract. And then you start to move things into action. So you have to put, they said this on the stream to me earlier, and I think I forgot to say it, put your money where your mouth is. That's a big, like, Akashic Records phrase. Like, they're like, yeah, cool, we'll rewrite it, we'll record it, but it doesn't get moved into action without your integration practice. That's fancy talk for put your money where your mouth is. That's fancy talk for put your money where your mouth is. Like, okay, you rewrote the contract. These are your desires. Now prove it. Go do it. So if you're rewriting your money contracts, well then, are you reworking your beliefs around money? Are you saying positive affirmations around money? Are you using money in a really appropriate way? Are you believing that more money is coming to you? Are you looking for ways to expand your money? Whatever the actions are going to be behind it. And those actions are really, really important. Like I said, the Akashic Records are very practical. Okay, I've got a ton of ascension technology in that module as well. And what I mean by that is lots of guided meditations that take you through specific flames that are cleansing, that are reprogramming, that amplify your intuition, that heal your heart, that bring prosperity towards you. These are all different meditations that you get access to. And then module number 6 is Starseed Remembering. So this is where a lot of people don't teach this, but I do, and I learned from someone that does, from Debbie Solaris. I learned the Galactic Akashic Records from. She coached me for a while, years ago. I adore her. So Starseed Remembering is opening your Galactic Akashic Records. And this is where I teach you about the Starseed races. Those of you that identify with those, which I think you will if you're on my channel. How to access your Galactic Akashic Records, becoming an embodied creator, understanding, like I was saying, how to build the action into the insights that you're given so that you can actually create real lasting change in your life. And then meditating in the Galactic Akashic Records. It's a whole experience. There's a huge download in that module too, in the workshop that I did, where I brought in, they created a collective of 3 light councils for me that I channeled. So there's Illyrian, Assyrian. Oh no, there were 4, I think. Illyrian, Assyrian, a Pleiadian, and an Arcturian light council. And they all came together and merged, and then gave a download for everyone to activate their star lineage, their soul family, their extended star soul family. to get more access to their multidimensional self, which is just like simply more soul data, more creativity, better influences on earth, better relationships on earth that are more soul-based, soul ties, soul bonds, soul family. And then I've got a ton of meditations in there for you guys. Let me think if there's anything else. I think that's my scoop, man. I'm going to be adding a module soon on generational healing, bloodline healing, which I'm very excited about. I will probably live stream that into the community when I go to do it, or I will shoot it ahead. Either way, it will be done. All right, you guys, I'm going to read through. Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to send me an email. Again, you can access Akashic Records Immersion at IamEmelina.com/Akashic-Records. Right now it's 70% off. Use the code Ancestors at checkout. If you have any issues, send me an email. If you love this video, please like it. Kay, I'm me. You got to tell me your first name, sweetheart. I'm gonna look for your email. I'm so happy you guys are here. Love and light from Northern California. Hello. Luna. Dylan was in here. Oh, how wonderful. Dylan just enrolled today. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm definitely enrolling. Amazing. I'm so excited. Okay, you guys, that's all I've got. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you in the program, or I'll see you on YouTube. I will see you. Okay, lots of love. Enjoy your night. Bye.